discuss things just before we start.
All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this New Dimension Racing special event. We're calling it the TBO Challenge Holiday Special 2017, and it is also celebrating the 10th anniversary of New Dimension Racing. I'm Jonathan Palmer, along with Thilo Falkenberg. I was one of the original members of New Dimension Racing. Thilo joined us fairly quickly in 2008 when we began. Our official founding date was December 28th, 2007. We started full operations in 2008. So Thilo, welcome. What are we doing today? Oh yeah, we're doing a TBO Challenge race. It's Turbo Colors. Wasn't it a great series we had back in the day?
Oh yeah, but back in the day is the right thing to say because the last full season was in 2010. Anyway, it's been a long time. New Dimension Racing has been in Live for Speed active, hence why also with an update of Blackwood, some of the official textures actually have been the New Dimension Racing logo.
Yeah, it was the series was originally created by our former member, our good friend, whose voice we miss dearly on our broadcasts, Chris Wilkinson, along with his IMA teammates. It was, I think 2009 was the first occurrence of it. When he joined us in the later part of 2009, we absorbed the series. He took it, we took it off, ran with it. We didn't run it after 2010 with other series coming to the forefront. Today we're going to have some great racing for you all, for sure. We have qualifying starting here in about 2 minutes at 18 UTC. That'll be 20 minutes open track. We have 36 racers entered. I don't have an official count of how many are here yet. We haven't gotten that far, but I know there's at least 20 or 25 here. And this is Blackwood Historic, which is Blackwood recently redone in Live for Speed earlier this year. Historic takes out that chicane after turn 1 in the normal direction. It's not really going to change the circuit that much. What it does do, Thilo, if you agree, is it's just going to create more drafting, an extra passing opportunity down the back straightaway, and you're not going to have people getting spread out, getting messed up through the chicane with ramming the curbs. I think it's going to lead to a little more close battles. We're going to see less interruption in battles.
Yes, it does. And what's also very important is that the first lap is less troublesome, if you want to call it that way, because usually after the first corner, which is a 180-degree hairpin, the field had to manage to get somehow in single file through that chicane, because too wide is normally too many cars on such a small space, and this got now taken away, and even if you're not getting around turn 1 well in the first lap, it's going to mean not so much harm.
Absolutely. Cars today, the Turbo class, FXO Turbo with 3% intake restriction, XRT, and RB4 with no restriction. We are underway with qualifying. Qualifying just starting. First one out of the pits looks like it's going to be Jan Labro. They've got 20 minutes to sit the fastest lap they can. They are allowed to telepit freely during this session, not the usual hardcore mode in some of our major events. So everyone's going to try and get some heat in tires, make sure everything's set up straight here. In about 45 seconds, we'll see the first qualifying hot laps start.
Maybe a few seconds more, because Laprovod and the rest of the field are taking it very slowly and weaving all over the track to get heat into the tires. For the one qualifying lap, that's crucial. However, for the race, you're going to experience that the tires are getting more than enough heat. So the Frenchman racing under the Grönland flag is now setting the first lap here in the qualifying session, starting the first lap, sorry. And this is going to be the first benchmark. Lapford is one of the drivers who were still active throughout the year in LFS, using the Tuesday fun races by Ronnie
Kronbusch.
Yeah, right, Ronnie Kronbusch.
And Ronnie has joined us today.
Yes, again in his bright green colors. Just crossing start-finish line now.
He's been doing very well with those Tuesday fun races. Been good keeping those alive. He's also done the abbreviation for those RTFR, Ronnie's Tuesday fun races, and there's also an extra large, which are, I think, longer races were involved.
Yeah, once a month. It's cranking up the race distance to about 75 minutes. And now the first benchmark, 122.18, but directly the response by Dennis Lind and Sutatos, who did a 22.02 and a 22.07. So the number 7 car is currently at the top of the charts. Here we see him exiting the pits for his second try. Ronnie Kronbusch, meanwhile, is crossing the line for his first lap, putting him into 7th position, within the same second the top of the field is. So a rather safe first lap for him.
One thing I think we need to address to everyone, the differences in the cars. The FXO has more power of the group, but it's, if memory serves, it's front-wheel drive. So it's going to be a lot more stressful on the front tires. The XRT, quite powerful, one of the more popular cars for the drifting groups in Need for Speed. Big beast, rear-wheel drive. Put the power down too early in a corner, back end's going to step out on you. RB4, which I don't believe we have any here today. RB4 is four-wheel drives, so it's the bear of the group, but on tight, twisty tracks, it gets that bite coming out of the corners. Right now, we've got 3 XRTs and 2 FXOs in the top 5, but I think so far, in the first 5 minutes qualifying, we're seeing a pretty good mix of the cars, Thilo.
Yes, indeed. In the top 6 there are 3 XRTs and 3 FXOs. All within half a second. And also we've got Dennis Lind in 2nd position and Raivio in 3rd position with the same time, but Dennis is driving the XRT while the man in the 36 car is running the FXO. So for one lap, both cars seem to be very well balanced.
And I'm told by by our friends in race control. Keep an eye on the station. That we have had number before just leave the pits. That would be our good friend, safety car Steve Martin. Not driving the safety car today, but Steve Martin, one of our favorites, been with us for almost the entire time. He's had the misfortune of rolling out of many Kyoto 500s. I did get to meet him in person at I think it was the 2012 or 2013 Indianapolis Motor Speedway Carb Day, and it was good to meet him. We hung out a bit. That was the year that there was the incredible Indy Lights 4-wide finish. Wasn't it Gabby Chavez won that one?
Well, and you've seen Safety Car Steve on the stream just moments ago. He tried out what a four-wheel driven car can do around the gravel pits around Blackwood. So probably the next lap is going to be a bit more constant on the tarmac stuff.
There are 12 minutes remaining in the qualifying session. Revio just improved to 121.87.
Yeah, he's the first one to break the 122 mark. And from what I remember, what the tracker told me just before the start of the qualifying session, he was also the only one who did it up to that point.
Revio, registered with Zoom competition for this race. I believe I've seen him in the Nitor Velox, Dennis Lynn's team, in their Discord. I know when I was initially promoting this event through IRC, Facebook, Discord channels, he was one of the more excited ones. Another friend of ours from the past NX Racing member, Alan Terzic, username Turga. He had signed up for this event, but he had to withdraw at the last minute. He was not able to get to his house in time. So we're sad to see him go. We've had 22 take time so far. Fastest is Revio with 121.87. The slowest, Dustin Dawes, our Canadian friend, in his XRT. He's only set at 2:17.69. I'm sure he'll get a little faster soon.
He probably couldn't get a lap together so far. He usually is not nearly a minute slower than everyone else, so...
I just got a message from Mr. Terzic. He's in Croatia right now. I see in the YouTube chat, we'd like to say hello to some of those that have said hello. Owen Harmon has said hello to us.
Oh!
Someone with the username John the Doors said hello. Wlayko, username, one of our Serbian friends from the AMT team, is there. He said he saw this too late. He always wants to participate. We will let you know. Don't forget, we will post any events we're doing on our Twitter and Facebook page. New Dimension Racing on Facebook, and then at NDR_Sim Racing on Twitter. Why are we NDR Sim Racing on Twitter? We're not just going to do LFS. I think in 2018 we're going to try and do at least an event, maybe a small league in maybe R Factor 2 or Automobilista. So, I see we've got Stu Baker in there, evening Stu, and our good friend Chris Wilkinson is here. Chris, shoot me a message on Facebook or come into the TeamSpeak and join us. We'd love to have your voice. We'll get you the server password so you can join us.
I probably has to think about what his LFS username was and password and everything. But yeah, if you want to join us, then come to TeamSpeak. Sutautas has beaten the 122 mark by 0.3 of a second and putting himself into second position. So the current top three are Ravio, Sutautas, Peltkangas and Dennis Lind in fourth position. Then Jan Laprovod in fifth, Lako Kovac in sixth. Seventh is Todorovic, eighth is Kronpush, ninth is Nayendenov, and 10th is Linde. Meanwhile, Dustin Dawes improved to 124.88. So he's no longer about a minute slower than the rest of the field. We're now joining one lap with Peltokangas. Probably I will butcher his name throughout the evening.
One thing that everyone's got to remember, there's a big difference between a single hot lap time and how long you will last in the race. In a qualifying, you can go to pits after every hot lap, get a fresh set of boots, keep on. In the race, first race is 16 laps, second race is 26 laps. Those are going to be stressful on the tires. You got to manage your tires. If you've got a setup that is better in the long run, that's going to advantage you later in the race, versus if you've got one that's really good really early, but falls off later in the session.
That's correct. Peltokangas now crossing the line of 123.59. We've been on board with him.
No, Thilo, it's as if people listen to us when we say things on the stream. We gave a shout out to him in the broadcast earlier after he talked to us. We got Owen Harmon joining us, giving us a little bit of Irish flair to the broadcast today. Owen, welcome.
Hey Deco, hey Thilo, thanks for letting me join you. And okay, thanks.
Sean, what do you remember? What's one of your favorite memories of your time with or participating in or observing New Dimension racing events?
Well, there's certainly the one that comes to mind, for my own opinion, was when I led the Toyota 500 on a long fuel strategy. There was a chance, if things went my way, I could have held on to the end, but it was obviously a bit too early to win. But I remember Steve and Leanne Solfrank doing very well for Team Laptop Shop in 250s and 500s back in the day, so that was great fun. But as for me, I only ever got one good result, I think, ever. That was like 11th or something. So that goes to show my standard anyway.
Yeah, we were. I remember the commentary team was very excited and impressed when you took the lead of the 500. You actually led for a little while in that. Playing that long strategy helped, and I think that year we did have at least. I think we had 2 long green flag runs, which opened up that strategy. Keto 500 all it was 268 laps of sheer terror with the FO8s, and it took something special to survive it. There was usually at least a 60 or 70 lap green flag run, and if it went any longer, people started needing to pit stop, because I think you could only get about 80 or 90 laps out of a tank on the FO8 at full pelt, maybe 100?
Yes, I think you got about 100 on it, yeah. I don't remember too well, though. As I had a very good time, actually, being up the front, but no competition. It was me, probably 30 seconds ahead. I just needed probably a safety car at a particular moment, and it wasn't going to happen, so... well, I can certainly cherish that.
So, down to the last 2 minutes of qualifying here. Revio is still on target pole with a 121.77. Zlutas, his XRT with a 121.97. Paltakangas with a 122 flat. Dennis Lind with a 22.04. Back to 10th is Matisse Lind with a 22.67. We've got Nico Pantola. I think he won the 2013 Kyoto. Was it the 2013 Kyoto 500? I believe he won with that massive wreck at the finish with evolving Clyde Escasunas, Chris Ford, him and Rick Hings. He is in 17th with a 123.29. Stephen Martin with a 124.05 in 22nd. 23rd, Dustin Dawes with a 124.14.
That by he's right behind Stephen Martin in the only RB4. I think the RB4 is going to be a slightly, unthankful car for the evening. The straights are, the one straight is pretty long, so there the power mirrors, which FXO and XRT have got plenty. On the other way around, the corners are too wide to really use the four-wheel drive as an advantage. By the way, if you hear throughout the evening some explosions from the back or anything, some people around my area are not keen on waiting until tomorrow night to start their fireworks, it seems.
It's usually a Halloween thing, but never mind, that's the way it is.
The time's expired on the session. It looks like our final car that we're working is number 7, Zlutas. He has taken he's taken a good time to schedule himself to possibly have the last chance. Actually, looks like 98 Jared Mead got in just before the checker flag went out. So he'll be the last car in his XRT. That one's coming complete. Jared Mead will be the last car. He comes across the line with a 124.17.
No improvement for him.
Nope, so that leaves Jonas Fabio on the pole with a 121.77. Second will be Zutatis with a 121.97. Pato Kangas with a 122 even. Dennis Lind with a 122.04. And Jan Lappert running out the top 5 with a 122.17. Matisse Lind with a 122.28 in 6th. Toroff 7th, 122.29. A 22.34, Sleslo Kovacs in 8th. Running Krampus 9th with a 122.60. It's Nadanov in 10th with a 122.6. Jan Moore, 3 jump. 11th with a 122.67. Misha Melek in 12th with a 122.71. Fazino with a 122.77. Also a Holmstrom with a 122.80 for 14th. 15th, Rosaitis with a 122.81. 123.20 for Weber of Heroes of Racing. 17th is Nico Pontola with a 123.29. 123.36 sees Zdenek Kagashi in 18th. 19th is Berglund with his XRT putting in a 123.59. 123.74 for Jared Mead in 20th. Yaroslav Donilik, one of our better friends and frequent participants, in 21st with a 123.78. Stephen Martin takes his RB4 to 22nd with a 124.05. And Dustin Dawes rounding out the back with a 124.14, Thilo.
And these are the 23 drivers who are competing tonight. And we're going to the grid in 3 minutes, so our first race is going to start very, very soon. And it's always nice to read through the chat on the server and people asking how many laps to do and etc. Probably there's going to be someone asking for a setup in just a minute or so, and someone else who needs to know how much fuel he needs.
And there are 1 or 2 extra comments from like Ronnie talking about the potato quality with the stream. Very harsh, but it's all a bit of fun.
The potato quality of the stream.
Yeah, they're saying don't use a potato as a streaming computer. It's not 2006 anymore. That says Ronnie. And
Ouch.
Bino replies, potatoes are only for drafting. So,
well, yeah, potatoes are for drafting, but this is more a sentence derived from oval racing.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible that I might have been taxing the streaming computer too much with doing a recording at the same time as streaming.
Sure.
So I've stopped the recording on the local computer, just in the event that it was just a little CPU overuse. So we've got, we have 16 laps sprint race coming up here in just about 5 minutes time. That's about 52.8 kilometers. Should take about 20 minutes.
Well, just judging from my end of the stream, it looked okay-ish. But, well, I'm more concentrated on what's happening on the track.
We're bouncing in and around 20 viewers, that's pretty good. So well done everybody for tuning in.
Meanwhile, Nick Patola is trying to refill his car, it seems. He's right there at the fuel station. But I think he's getting it wrong. Ah! Now he's standing in front of one of the tubes.
That was one of the things added in the update to Blackwood. Nice car park, industrial park area. Gonna bring it up to the standard that we got with the new West Hill.
What also got added is this little wall within each and every pitch box, so you can't look at the other car when you're standing in position to leave the pits. Which is kind of strange. But yeah, gridding starts.
Yep, just checking the grid to make sure LFS landed it correctly. There will be no lag lap like used to happen in the day.
Yeah, like used to happen in City League, for example. Some people are leaving the grid for some reason, like always. Dustin says that he's still slow in the YouTube chat, and that he still experiences random frame drops.
Kagash is asking to start from the back. We're missing one driver. The number 81 Tordroff hasn't rejoined the grid yet. Okay, and he's there now.
Also, hello to the Turkish viewers of the stream. I can't understand what you're writing in the streaming chat, but still nice that you're watching tonight's event with us.
So it'll be 16 laps race with no wind. As soon as my clock ticks to 18:30 UTC, I'll hit the go button and you'll see pictures on the stream, hopefully.
If not, you should try to refresh the stream.
Although there could be problems, I'm relying on a computer at my place of employment for it, and it may not have the best processing or internet.
On the grid now. 3 lights red. And we're green. First race of the evening underway, and Zutautas with a great start thanks to his rear-wheel powered car. And in fact, the XRTs are overtaking these FXOs without any problem into turn 1.
We've had a bit of a carambolage at the back between Dawes and Steele.
4 wide on the main straight. Managing down to 3 wide into turn 2. Oh! Contact between Ravio and Laprovod, but Laprovod stays in front into the 3rd segment.
I'm just looking back on the stream. He got a brilliant getaway compared to everyone else in front of him, so it's certainly impressive.
Lap 1's complete, and we've got Laprovod, Ravio, Lind, Tautas, and Peltokangas, the top 5. And Jan runs wide, giving now Ravio the chance on the straight to use the FXO power, which is littler compared to the usual power output the car has, and so Laprovod can actually pull away slightly. Having now the advantage into turn 2. But Ravio with a slightly better exit. Close racing from the top 2. Turn 1, Laprovod defending the inside line, and now Dennis Lind has caught the battling 2. Ravio with a worse exit out of turn 1. So bad that in fact Dennis Lind can pull past him on the straight. Great straight line speed by the Danish driver in the number 60 car.
Looked like Ravio just gave Dennis a little tap under braking. One thing that a couple of drivers had mentioned to me in the last couple of days about the extra sausage curbs on the inside of the last couple of corners. Used to, especially the S curve after the back straightaway, used to be able to, as Dennis Lind goes to the inside of the lap, Ravio cuts up the inside. They're 3 wide down the back straight. Laprovod got a good bite coming out of the corner. He's tucked ahead. Lind trying to cut into Laprod's slipstream. Ravio was there. Didn't think about it, but now Lind has the draft. Ravio has the draft. Ravio is going to try and split the 3. Ooh, contact. Side by side, Laprovod has the inside for turn number 2. Ravio sneaks up the inside of Lind. Laprovod wants to power down a little too early. It steps out and loses the lead into turn 3 to Ravio. And now Lind is hounding all over the back of him.
Very aggressive driving by Ravio, but still everything is fair up to now. Just a bit of rubbing. A bit like in the good old Super Touring Car days.
Yes, Lind with the slipstream chance into turn number 1. He'll try and pick the outside. Try and squeeze. Laprod's fastest lap is set by Laszlo Kovacs with a 1:22.45. Laprod steps wide again. Lind on switchback. Side by side, another drag race down the backside again. It's a dead heat down the hill at the middle of the back straight. On the bridge. Lind has the inside from corner number 2. Will he be able to complete the pass and keep it stuck on the outside? They make a bit of contact at the apex. Labro sticks with it on the outside, but now falls in behind Dennis Lind, and Lind will now try and chase down Ravio. Labro will stick with him. Labro with some pretty good performance so far today. Back for 6th, 7th, 8th area. Tordorf and Matisse Lind. Lind and Tordorf's draft down the back straightaway. He'll try and take a move around the outside to try and take 7th position. And he does. Tordorf. Don't believe he'll be able to take a chance. Ooh, a bit of contact there.
But early enough in the braking zone, so Lind does not miss corner.
11th through 14th and 15th through 19th have all kind of paired off into foursomes. I think fairly close together, but no one really within overtaking range. Fazino and Rositas and Michael Malek on the line of start coming up the hill out of the final corner to complete completing the 6th lap of 16, 10 laps remaining in this race. Remember, there is a reversal for the feature race of anywhere between the top 6 and 10. It is based on the finishing time, the last digit of the finishing time of the race winner. If it's 1 through 5, 5 will be added to that number to get whether it's 6 of it. If the finishing time is, say, .23 seconds, that would be a 8 position reverse. Anything 6 through 9 is minus that number. 5 and 0 would be a 10 place crash. We're side by side down the back straightaway into turn number 2 between Rositas and Malek. Rositas looks like he will claim the position. He's up to 12th now.
Yeah.
Malek?
Malek got a hit by Fazino on the brake kick. Meanwhile, we've got a whole 5-car group for 2nd position, led by Lind. Oh, and in the background there was a dive by Zouta. Yeah.
And that cost him at least 1 position. Kovacs gets around him. He tried to go up the inside and turn 1 on under Jan Lapperpot. Jan wasn't having any of that. And it looks like just has some power down the back straightaway over at the FXO of Kovacs. Yes, it's an XRT versus FXO battle here. Baltokangas to the inside of Kovacs into turn 3, and he will swap that position.
Yeah, Kovac now on tail end of the group, racing the old core, racing skin. Core meanwhile moved to iRacing and is one of the biggest teams over there, with quite some success.
Yes. Radio has checked out with a 2 1/3 second lead over Dennis Lind. Lind staying just ahead of Left Road, Zutatis, Peltakangas, and Kovacs are staying fairly close together.
I wonder why Radio is using his hazard lights. It's not like he's a hazard on track or anything. And if he wanted to play the safety car, it would be a mighty fast safety car.
Currently has the fastest laps a little while ago, 1:22.36. Zutatis on the inside of Peltakangas into turn 1. Looks like he'll complete that. It's 2 FXOs against 1 XRT. It's a drag race down the backside again. Kovacs is outranged to deal to take advantage of the draft. Peltakangas tucks inside Zutatis. Nice slipstream. Once again, you're all watching the New Dimension Racing 10th Anniversary TBO Challenge Holiday Special. Along with Thilo, Falkenberg, and Owen Harmon, we're working the 11th lap of 16 in the sprint race. We have a 26-lap feature race coming up following this one. Kovacs now on the back of Peltakangas, heading down the long back straightaway, see if he can get advantage of the draft and get around Zutatis along with the help of Peltakangas. Not a little too far to be in Zutatis' slipstream at the moment. Kovacs around the outside of Peltakangas, heading down the long back straightaway towards turn number 2. Kovacs gonna try for a switchback, or is he gonna stay behind? Looks like he'll tuck behind. Why not? See if they can both work together to catch up to Zutatis, but that XRT looks like it's pulling away coming out of turn number 1, and they just don't have the energy to keep up.
Looking at the tire temperatures, it is quite amazing that the tires still look so nice for Peltakangas. Usually this sprint race has a distance where the tires of the FXO start to get really messy, while the XRT tires can still go slightly. Zutatis really is starting to get heat into the rear tires and getting a bit drifty, so that's why exiting the first corner, he lost to the FXOs behind him. Oh yeah, he's drifting quite a lot, so he might be starting to lose grip rapidly on the rear tires. The 42 of Steer is in the pit lane for no apparent reason.
Oh, look, no, it actually looks like he realized he was slow compared to everyone, and he's just doing a pass through the pit lane to let the bulk of the field by instead of interfere there. Everyone looks pretty well spread out. Nothing really close down the order.
Well, we've got a battle for 19th position with Kagash and Dawes.
Yeah, that's true. Kagash in the FXO and Dawes in an XRT. Dawes was telling me last night when we were in the server together that he wasn't too sure about his single lap pace, but he figured he'd be consistent enough in the race to advance some positions. And I'm sure some drivers will make some setup changes in the time between the qualifying, or between the sprint race and the feature race. They do have the ability to make some setup changes. I don't know how many they'll be able to make, though.
Malek is now under pressure from Fazino. Malek had to...
Good.
Yeah, Malek had a poor exit into the home straight. And now Fazino could take his position through turn 1. But Malek's ducking in the slipstream to start and regain the position. Without success, it seems, for now.
And our race leader, Yunus Revio, starting his penultimate lap, working the 15th lap of 16 scheduled. Falkenberg looks up to the inside and dives to the inside of Zutatis, and Zutatis makes the crossover. And Kovacs is trying to gain from that. He's to the right-hand side of Peltakangas down the back straightaway. Peltakangas in the slipstream of Zutatis swings across the bow of Kovacs. Does he have enough power out of the draft to get around Zutatis? No, he doesn't. Tucks back in. He's going to try and dive up the inside here at number 2. Looks like he will stick behind.
It was a very risky switch over there on the back straight. Could have ended in tears. Thankfully not.
Peltakangas now took the position of Zutautas, who's now really struggling with his rear tires, it seems. Now getting a little love tap by Kovac.
While we keep an eye on this, our race leader is into turn 1 on his final lap with a 2.7 second lead at the stripe over Dennis Lind.
Kovac dives into the inside. A bit of door handle rubbing. But now on the straight we see that the XRT is pulling away again.
Great slipstream. He can time it just right. Looks like Kovacs is going to make him take the long way around to turn number 2. Kovac with a good bite out of turn number 2, but can't make anything happen before turn number 3. Jonas Revia, our race leader, coming past the pit entry into the final corner. After a good battle in the first couple laps, he took the lead and he is not giving it up. And Jonas Revio wins the sprint race here at the TBO Challenge Holiday Special. Did it in 22 minutes 10.65 seconds. That gives us a maximum 10 position reverse. Dennis Lind comes second. Laprovote, Falkenberg, and Mutatis.
And we've got a huge gaggle from 12th down. Nico Pantola losing position. Manages to save the 14th position. All of a sudden, all the cars were all the close. Not sure what have happened, but within the final sector, it seemed someone messed up and the whole group was very close together.
Yeah, well done everybody, well played.
We've got one more car to finish, that is Steer, who crossed the line now, the only one who got lapped. Rounding up now the 24 finishes of the sprint race.
And everyone who started finished.
That's genuine. Even the rescue RB4 finished. So Radio 1 in front of Dennis Lind and Jan Laprovot. 4th position goes to Paltakangas in front of Zutautas, Kovac, Todorovic, Lind, Müller, and Ronnie Krompusch in 10th position. 11th is Rotsitis, followed by Malek, Fazino, Puntola, Weber, Holmström, Nayendenov, Mead, Kagash, and Dustin Dawes in 20th position. 21st is Berglund, in front of Donalik, Martin, and Stiri, running up the 24 finishes. Here we see the podium cars on the start-finish line. On the stream camera we see them from the backside, it seems. So in the middle there is Revio, to his right is Laprovot, and to his left is Lind. It was a fun first race here of the evening, especially the 3 XRTs overtaking the FXOs at the start spiced up the first half of the race. However, Revio was unchallenged in the second half of the race for this first position, and we've got a 10-car reversal.
Yeah, that'll put Ronnie Krompusch on the
I just wanted to say, that's going to be interesting. So, starting lineup for the second race, we've got Ronnie Kronpusch in front of Müller, in front of Linde, Todorov, Kovac, and Sutautas. Pelto Kangas, Jan Laprovod, Dennis Lind, and our race winner, Revio.
So that was a nice, clean first race. I see a couple other people in the team saying, I'm going to go see if they want to come talk to us for a little bit during this break.
User left your channel.
While Jonathan is looking for other people to join us in the stream, I say hello to Mr. Pinto, who said hello in the live stream chat. He says, it's been forever, guys. Sure it has.
Yeah, very much so.
User joined your channel. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
So, we've got a couple racers from that with us here during the break. We've got Jared Mead, who finished... Where did you finish, Jared? You weren't last, were you?
No, not quite. Almost. P18.
Oh, yeah, there's 18th. And then Yaroslav Donilik, who did
22nd.
not too bad. 22nd, yes. So, Jared, you told me in the other room that you had an interesting turn one.
Well, turn one I got sandwiched in the middle 3 wide. That wasn't too bad, but at the end of the back straightaway on the first lap, it was a matter of I haven't done a serious LFS race in about 3 years, and I very grossly overestimated the grip of cold tires. So I was bombing down the backstretch into that sharp right-hander and hit the brakes, and oh crap, the car wasn't stopping.
Oh dear.
Not good.
Did you take any casualties, or could you avoid them?
I managed to gain 3 positions out of it. It was not a clean pass. I wouldn't be shocked if this were a serious race. I'd be protested for it, because it was ugly. Right across the grass and everything, park on the apex. So, I'm not going to give the 3 positions back, but to the guys who I almost took out, sorry.
I'm sure they'll forgive you.
Yeah, well... This is the thing with those races, if you're not doing them regularly, you start to, well, have a better impression of the tire, of the grip and everything than there actually is.
Basically, in the past 3 years, the only events I've done in LFS have basically been Demolition Derby events, so not the best leaping point into today.
Yaroslav, what was your moment of the race?
Well, as Jared said, my moment of the race was definitely turn one. He told us about the sandwich between 3 cars. I was in the middle of that sandwich, but I got away well. And then throughout the whole race, I had an amazing battle with car 05, Mr. Berglund. It was pretty amazing. My first race after 4 years in LFS, and I enjoyed it. I finished 22nd, not dead last, so that's a great message for me. And I'm looking forward for the second race.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah, I was pretty amazed how all the drivers can keep their pace. No one was doing no one was doing any mistakes, so it was pretty tough. Well, as it used to be in NDR events. So I'm quite happy that I could be part of it. Amazing.
Good to have you around, Yard and Yaroslav. It was entertaining to watch on the stream, from my perspective.
Yeah, it was, this race was not boring at all for me, so I enjoyed it, yeah. But towards the end I did two mistakes in final corner. I cannot get that corner right, so I lost there my 22nd position to Mr. Berglund, and yeah, I finished 22nd. So let's see what brings us the second race.
Yeah, for which gridding is now starting.
Yeah, we're going. Yep, Mr. Jonathan Provost is taking care of swapping all the drivers for me. It's a beautiful thing. A recent feature added to Live for Speed was the ability to sort the grid positions as they rest in the grid. Nice little buttons next to each driver that you can click to move yourself. You click your name, then you click the button next to the driver you want to swap in front of. So
this seems much easier than back when I used to race NASCAR 2003, which had no way to set a grid. I basically had to set a grid by giving everybody a qualifying speed limit around Daytona. So this seems like a much better idea.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
well, like the in-sim applications that we used to use to try and order the grid always had spotty luck. You always got screwed up when someone went to the garage or spectated and came back.
Looking through the chat, I already see some conspiracy theories that Ronnie's pole was also already planned, so he could brag about it.
And he's just thinking he's going to be leading the race for about, I don't know, 20 meters or so.
And maybe more. It depends on what happens behind him.
To make turn one even more fun, we should give him Yarda's and Ari's first gear. We're running the same setup, and gear one is brutal.
Yeah, I used some old hot lap setup which has terrible first gear, and yeah, I think I will come to the first corner dead last. So yeah, will be good.
Okay, so it looks like everyone is set. And we've got about 5 minutes before we start the next race.
Well, while I'm here, I do want to say a big thanks to all you guys in NDR, what you guys have done over the years. This summer, it's funny we have Yarda and I here talking now. This summer, I took a trip over to Europe. If those who don't know, I'm Eastern Canadian. And I met Yarda, I met Martika Paul, I met Jan Laprovat. Jan Laprovat and I went to the Nürburgring together. And I wouldn't have met these people and probably had the inspiration to go on a trip and do all those crazy things if I didn't come through and take part in NDR, and if those races weren't there, then I don't think any of that would have happened.
Wow, that's class.
And I remember you told me there was a good bit of talk about NDR things when you were with all of these people. Some good, some bad, some ugly.
Well, that's how most NDR conversations go.
Now, be honest. Did you all agree that I was the most horrible person ever in the history of Live for Speed? Is that what you all did?
Oh, if you qualified it in Live for Speed, then absolutely yes. If you said in the world, there's going to be one or two worse people than you.
Oh, that was pretty honest. But guys, please give me a chance also to thanks everyone, all the NDR that you are here for 10 years and that you've made all amazing races that I enjoyed pretty much. I was racing since 2009 in your events, and it was always amazing, very professional. And for me personally, when I started racing in Live for Speed, I wanted to race in NDR events, and for me personally, I got finally a good reason to learn English. So all amazing things that you've done had a pretty big effect on some other people. As Jared said, I was lucky to meet him in Prague in the Czech Republic, and now with Martin Kapal, we are wondering if we could also travel to Canada to visit Jared. This wouldn't be possible without the friendship that is built in NDR events. So it's amazing. Thank you guys.
Eastern Canada is nowhere near as interesting. It's just ice.
Yeah, I know. I know. But yeah, maybe for you it's just boring, like Central Europe for me, you know. But it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, thank you for those words. We're glad that you've all participated in our events. We're glad that you got to meet each other in person out in Eastern Europe. We're glad that every one of you watching the stream, either live or in replay, or that anyone who's ever participated got to this week. It is amazing how friendships have formed out of this. I wish that I'd been able to go to one of the LFS UK kart meets organized by Jason Matthews, but because that would have been great fun. Those all looked great fun. But also want to say hello to Julian Shine, who said hello to everyone in the stream chat. So we're 2 minutes away from the start of the feature race. And yes, you'll be, if you miss anything from today's race, you'll be able to watch the entire stream again on demand shortly after the event wraps up.
That's such a handy feature. Can't get over how good that is.
So, a quick go through the grid for this race. Ronnie Krampusch on the pole via his 10th place finish in the top 10 reversal. No, that was not planned. Not at all. Jan Muller starting second. He just said in the game chat a few minutes ago, it can't be possible I'm going to have two good races in a row. Todorov third and Kovacs fourth on the second row. Third row will be Zutatis and Peltakangas. Jan Laprovot and Dennis Lind, followed by Revio and Rosaitis. Malek Fazino, Pantola Weber, Holmstrom Nadinyov, Jared Mead and Zdenek Kagash, Dustin Dawes, Berglund, Donalik, Martin starting second last, and Steer starting last.
So we're going to Fern Bay, right?
If no.
Did anyone leave? Because we've got 23 races.
Looks like we missed Matisse Lind left. I don't know.
Yeah. Looks like it.
It looks like 81 dropped out. Hey Jared, you're here, so I'm going to tell you in the game, go ready. And Yarda, go ready. I'll move you all out. Unless you have anything you want to say, Les.
The last thing I'll just say is thanks, Deco, for loaning me that can of spray paint to fix my skin. I did it just for you.
No, okay. Well, thanks for letting me know. So, okay, well, thank you guys for joining. We might talk to you after the race if you want. Otherwise, have a good feature race.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I hope turn one or lap one's less entertaining for me this time.
All right, good luck, guys. That's
User was moved out
Jared
of your
Mead
Have
and
fun.
channel.
Yaroslav Donalik.
User was moved out of your channel.
You're getting ready to start towards the back of the grid. Got one more car to go ready.
I think I'll let pop off as well, guys. I really appreciate you having me on as well. I hope you enjoy the feature race. I'll tune into the stream, I'm sure.
Well, thank you, Owen, for joining us.
Cheerio, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
User left your channel.
And here we are on the grid for the feature race, Thilo.
Yes.
26 laps.
And Ronnie on the pole position. Julian Shine just said he is silly because he didn't race. 3 rides are red and green we are.
Will Krampusch be leading out of turn 1?
No, that's Müller. Todorov was in the grass. It's now losing position after position. Dennis Lind 3 wide for a moment with Kovac and Zutautas. Oh, Lind! Nearly flipped it into the wall. He took a good bite off the sausage curbs. And is now down to 14th position. Sprint race winner Ravio is at the back of Todorov on the inside. Todorov runs wide again in the grass after turn 1. And he's getting sandwiched.
Oh, there's 4 wide, 3-4 wide down the back straightaway, back in around 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, with Vazino, Patola, Todorov, and Rosaitis. Rosaitis looking like he's getting a bit squirrely under braking. To the inside of Vazino, it's all action through the back of the field. And we've got problems at the very back of the field. Weber, Dawes, and Donnelly coming together in the second turn. Someone missed their braking point, is what I'm hearing from some of the corner workers around the track.
Meanwhile, at the front, Müller's leading from Laprevot, who took second position from Krampus, and he's now looking into overtaking Müller. With the slipstream to the outside. Oh, and Ronnie!
Oh, Ronnie lost it under. Was he contacted or did he lose it himself under braking? Did he tap the grass pads?
Unfortunate for Ronnie. And Laprevot now with the overtake on Müller. drives deep.
Oh, he goes wide. He's gone. He's gone. He's going to lose third. Back to third. And he's being hounded by Peltagangas. They make side-to-side contact. And Muller drops to Ravio. Pushing him a little wide. Ravio will have the inside for the penultimate corner. See a message from Matisse Lind in the stream chat saying that he had to go. He hadn't driven for such kind of an event for a long time, and his hands were shaking. And yes, you're welcome, Matisse. Thank you for joining us. We apparently made his childhood. Zutatis coming around the outside of Laprevot, down the back straightaway into turn number 2. Laprevot is going to stick to the inside, is he? Hug that Corian, he does. Zutatis sticking to the outside, but yields for turn 2. Gonna try and tuck up the inside. Peltagangas coming up on this battle, and also Ravio along with it. Jan has always been a consistent racer in NDR events, Thilo. He's never, he wasn't always one of the fastest by any stretch, but he has gotten tremendously better over the years.
Yes, he did.
He has raced in almost everything LFS has had for the last 10 years.
Yes, quite frankly, also due to the fact he does nearly every Ronnie fun race, and there are some very strange combos driven there. But now he needs to fight for the position.
Zutatis powers around the outside at turn number 2. Looks like Jan has surrendered the lead. Jan, I think we first saw him in the... I'll have to check. I think we first saw him in the second season of the LFS Beginners Cup in late 2008. It wasn't then. We definitely saw him in the 2009 LFS BC and NDR Challenge season. I think he did the second season in 2008 of LFS BC.
That could be. I recall that he was in the 2009 season of LFS Kart.
Well, to the LFS BC season 2 points.
But yeah, for now he had to surrender the first position. Though after what we've seen in the sprint race, Zutautas has had some tire issues.
And it started impacting him about lap 14-15. Right at the end of the sprint race, he fell off. He might have made setup adjustments during the break. 15-minute space where he can make setup adjustments. If Jan can keep his tires in shape, if Ravio can keep their tires in shape, this could be an interesting race. Answer to our riddle. Jan not only participated in the second season of LFS BC, he won the championship by 10 points.
Oui. admit I was never around LFSBC that much. I think I've helped at 2 or 3 races.
I think that sounds about right. You started the Elvis Kart Series in 2008.
Yes.
I helped. We agreed before the season started that Kyoto 500 would be part of your series. And then you joined us as part of Elvis Kart because you realized what I think we all realized what a challenge it was, because we were doing podcasts on it and everything.
Yeah.
I think Mark Balls, Mazar, kind of did a lot because he saw what NDR were doing with Dunn, and he basically said that you need these guys to help you, and you joined us. You weren't one of the charter members. That's myself, Jack Atkins, and Joseph Ellis, but you were one of the original members, along with Timo Henyon joined in 2008.
Yeah, right, Timo.
And Rabio to the inside of Laprod coming through turn 1. They're going to be side by side. Laprod has the draft of Zutatis at the moment. Will Zutatis tuck to the inside, or will he just stay put? XRT FXO drag ranks down the back straight over here on the 9th lap of 26.
And I think Rabio is already profiting from the slipstream, because we've seen that the XRT could pull away in the sprint race.
Rabio completes the pass in turn 2.
To the inside of Zutatis. And on the 10th lap of the race, the sprint race winner is back into the lead.
For how long? Zutatis getting, just powering up the inside of him. Down the back straightaway. Laprod sucking in the draft. Looks like he's going to try to go to the inside of Revio. Revio splits them, tucks to the inside of Zutatis. Side by side, very little space between them. Zutatis drops back to the third. Peltakangas along with it. Some close action here for the point of the race. One thing that people have always said about Live for Speed compared to any other sim, LFS has always been generally regarded as one of the best for multiplayer side-by-side racing. A lot of other sims, if you go close door-to-door third corner, it might send you both flying off due to latency or other issues, but in Live for Speed, we've seen battles for entire laps of drivers leaning on each other.
Yeah, and the netcode update a few years back improved this even more.
Rabio looked like he got on the grass a little coming out of turn number 1, and Laprod has just easily come behind him, or come around him. It looks like Rabio's tucked behind. Zutatis is in the draft. Rabio is going to look to the outside going into turn number 2. Will he be able to clear? Oh, yeah, and gets a little slide on. A little slide job for Rabio. Zutatis staying behind in third. Dennis Lind is trying to work his way back up. He just got around Krampus in the last lap, and he's going to try to get around Mueller for, that'll be 6th position. And he's going to try and catch up to these top 5 guys, and if they keep battling like this, he'll catch him anytime soon. Ooh, that's Ravio gone wide.
Yeah, he made contact with Labrod, who had a poor exit from the penultimate corner. And due to the tighter line, he had to go through the last corner. There was no room left for Ravio.
Zutatis side by side down the backstreet. Falkenberg staying in the slipstream of Zutatis. Looks like Zutatis will be in front of Labrod by the corner. Labrod's going to stick to the outside, squeezing Zutatis down to the inside, and they stay side by side out of turn 2. Falkenberg making it 3 wide, bumps Zutatis, that bumps Labrod, they're side by side. Labrod will keep the inside and take back the lead. Kovacs is now in this scrap.
And great driving by everyone involved. You really can see that these guys can drive those cars.
These are some of the best names that we've ever seen in Live for Speed in the last 10 years. These were the guys that took over from the Raymonds and the Sasha Besiges and all of that class back in the 06 to 09 time. Dennis Lind just gobbed up a second on them, and he is with these guys. He will be there anytime now.
After all, he was really lucky with his accident in lap 1 or lap 2, because most of the damage is cosmetic. He's got some right side damage, as you might expect by such a hard hit into the wall, but it's still okay-ish. Ravio is going to the inside of Zutatis. And he makes it around the outside in the last corner. Brilliant move, and all that was caused by the fighting between Labrod and Zutatis.
Halfway through this race, Labrod takes a little bit of a lunge, avoids contact with Zutatis. Now, will Ravio be able to scamper away, or will Zutatis be able to power up and make a move into turn 2?
Now we see the DRS-like slipstream in Live for Speed.
Zutatis is going to be made to take the long way around by Ravio. Is he going to try and cut up the inside?
Oh!
Yes, Ravio outbrakes himself just a little bit, and Zutatis taking the lead back.
Nice switch back.
Lind is coming to 5th by passing Kovacs. Lind is now chasing down Peltakangas. Can these 6 keep this battling up for the next 12 laps? We have 12 laps remaining in the feature race here at the TBO Challenge Holiday Special.
Zutatis has to get behind Ravio again.
Ravio cutting to the inside. Oh, it makes a bump to Zutatis. That might kill his momentum. Radio able to hold off the switchback. Dennis Lynn dives to the inside of Peltakangas into turn number 3, and Dennis Lynn now up to 4th position, chasing down Lampervold.
Now has some breathing space. And if he manages turn 1 well, he is going to have a stressless turn 2, I think.
Does Pettis have the power alone? His tires don't look too bad off at this point.
Yeah, they look way better than in the sprint race. But Rabio's tires are now getting slightly warmer on the fronts. Let's see if they cool down now that he can drive all alone up in front. Fastest lap, a 1:22.40, about 7/10 slower than in the qualifying.
Lampervold's tires look like they're a little warmer than Lutadis's. Might be falling off here. That hard action was definitely a stressful. Down the back straightaway for 8th, 9th position, or excuse me, that's 9th, 10th, Malek and that is Rositis are battling here, and it looks like Todorov is going to dive up the inside of Rositis, and they make contact! Rositis has lost a position to Todorov through contact into turn number 2. That might be something that either gets protested or the stewards are going to want to take a look at. Rositis is going to fall into the hands of Nadenia.
Took the chance to rewatch the scene on streaming, and it was a very late decision by Todorov to move out of the slipstream to the inside, most likely under braking, and well, yeah, probably something the stewards are really having a closer look on.
42, Nicholas Steer, who did that pass through the pit lane to try and get out of the way, is just up ahead. I'm figuring he will make another dive into pit lane this time, but will Rabio have to deal with him before then?
No.
Oh, he's gone off into the grass. That could be a bit treacherous here. He's just parked up to the inside.
Now using the big gap to rejoin the track. That could have gone way worse.
Yep. Ooh, Rivio puts it a little wide coming out of turn number 1. I don't know. I don't think that's going to give enough advantage to Zotaris to let him catch.
Pinto says in the livestream chat that one has to love the LFS cosmetic damage. Probably referring to Dennis Lind, who is now in 3rd position.
Yeah, that is one thing that it's not a poor damage model by any stretch, but there are ways to exploit it to your advantage. Drivers spinning have always known that if they can just either go head-on or back it into the wall, nothing would happen. It would just be cosmetic. If you hit side to side is when you would get suspension damage. There is no impact to the wall aerodynamic damage. There's no aerodynamic modeling in the damage, really. There's engine damage, but you don't get it from impact. You get it from bad shifting, bad accelerating.
Yes. However, if you are going at full speed straight into the wall, your engine dies.
It does do this, yes.
One of the more fun experiences on one of the public servers back in the day. But yeah, the damage model came after I got to know LFS. I got to know LFS due to the German NBC channel, who had programs for games in the late evening, and also showed some esports back in 2005, 2004.
Wasn't that the ESL?
Yes, it was an ESL race, which was commentated by Vajkosh.
Joachim Fies.
Ja, genau, Joachim Fies. And back in the time, that was quite revolutionary to have a racing game which allowed skinning with no big problems, with no big effort. And back in the time before Okrana became Schrödkommando, which is now SK Gaming, they used to have a Live for Speed division, and they used the skinning to show off their sponsors in-game, which was rather new for the rest of the esport community.
Yeah, they were SK Gaming were always big contenders and masters of endurance in its early years. They dropped off about 2008-2009 time, I believe, when they moved on to other sims.
Yes, I remember that they closed their racing division completely. I think now they have one again, but I'm not sure because SK Gaming went through so many changes. It was a Swedish clan, but now the Counter-Strike division is down in Brazil for some reason. And I just got to know about it a couple of weeks ago because esports is getting bigger again in the media.
Yeah, well, earlier this year there was the Vegas E-Prix, formerly Vegas E-Prix, that was run. They had it run out. I think they were actually Vegas, but they were using simulators in R-Factor 2 with a street circuit built around the Strip. They had the circuit go around the Luxor, the Excalibur, the Brooklyn Bridge model at Mandalay Bay. Everything. That was a wonderful event. We must give a shout out on the stream to the world's fastest gamer winner, one of our friends, Rudy Van Buren.
Yes, I was surprised to look through my Twitter feed and suddenly see Rudy Van Buren being nominated as a simulator driver by McLaren.
And also, shout out to Isaac Price, who was in the top 6, just lost out in the penultimate round. The round of 6 down to the round of 2. But I had talked to him about it. He enjoyed his experience very much. And from what I saw, everyone who participated it was a great thing to watch. It was a great thing to be part of, I'm sure.
Yes, and Isaac, if I recall it correctly, also was in the semi-finals of the Formula 1 esports series based on the Codemaster game. So it was, there were some familiar names now in the more casual competitions of sim racing or esport racing, or however you want to call it. Meanwhile, Dennis Lind is at the back of Zutautas. With now 3 laps to go.
Working the 24th lap of 26. Revio is 1.5 seconds ahead of Zutautas. His left front tire is showing quite a bit of red now, getting a lot more rouge shade. It'll be interesting to hear some of the drivers' reactions to this following the race. This is and it was selected to be a very simple event, just pure racing. No safety carring, no nothing, just a couple fairly quick races. And I think this has shown to be a pretty good racing competition. Everyone has been, there's been some great even performance levels all throughout the field.
Yeah, well, it's on the one hand, but I think for those who had the lap 1 Schlamassel, it's also a bit of a sour note because they had to be stuck at the back of the field. With such even performance throughout the field, there was no chance to get back into a racing group.
Kovac resets fast lap of the 1:22.13.1. And Lind trying to grab the slipstream of Zutautas going into turn 2. Not quite close enough yet. But he might be on the front straightaway if nothing untowards happens here in the last sector.
His tires look slightly better.
Just ahead, Revio is coming out of the final corner to start the final lap. Can he hold off in the lead for one more lap? And if Lind can get a good run, Lind taking a dive up the inside, makes contact with Zutautas, knocks him wide, sticks to the inside. Will that let Laprod or anyone come up with both of them slowing down for the corner?
And now Laprod Lapperot is choosing one of the two slipstreams.
Which is now unified, and one is Lynn tucks behind Zutatis, having he realized that he made a mistake by trying to dive. He will try to take it the clean way. If these two have any comings together, Lapperot might be able to take a podium spot yet. Peltakangas is also on the back of this. Is Yen? We've got
Yellow flag
up ahead as that's looks like steel again.
Oh,
yielding. Lapperot to the inside of Zutatis into the penultimate corner. Can he make it still? Can Zutatis come to Yen? Gets it sideways. Zutatis will have the outside. Peltakangas comes up to the inside. There's going to be a three-way battle for the final podium spot. Yen getting a little sideways coming out of the final corner, but Yen Lapperot taking third on the final corner.
And a very, very close finish between Peltakangas and Zutautas. 3/100th of a second.
Yep. Jonas Revio sweeping the day with a win of the feature race in 36 minutes and 7 seconds.
Very exciting finish there. Very, very, very nice.
Yeah, Ben, coming out of the final corner now is our last car, Dustin Dawes, who will finish in 22nd position. Last car on the lead lap.
And again, all starters finished the race. So,
Yes, sir.
Revio has won the race. 2.8 seconds in front of Dennis Lind. Thanks to all what happened in the final few corners, Jan Lapperot is about 1.4 seconds behind, and then everything was close. Peltakangas 19/100th behind the podium, sadly for him. Closely missing it, and Zutautas another 3/100th of a second behind in 5th position.
User left your channel.
Lako Kovac now with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:22.31 in 6th position. 7th is Todorov after all the rubbing a few laps earlier. 8th position for the pole sitter Ronnie Kronpus, who at least defended the relative position from Jan Müller, who finished in 9th. Naidenov is in 10th position, Rositis in 11th, then Malek, Fasino, Puntola, Holmström, Berglund, Mead, Kagash, Weber, and Donalik rounding the top 20. In 21st, safety car Steve Martin, then Dustin Dawes, and finally 2 laps behind. Got those 2 laps by letting everyone else pass, underlapping, is Steer. Lind is now trying to drift around the winner and the 3rd place car.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel. User joined your channel. User was moved to your channel. User joined your channel.
Okay, joining us in the channel here for a bit of a post-race talk, we've got, let's go through, we got Steve Martin, Dennis Lind, Jared Mead, Jaroslav Donalik and Zdenek Gash. Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. No one really cares about the other
Hello.
guys, you know that.
We know you're the best one here, Dennis.
Yeah, can I just take a moment to say, just mute your microphone first, and then thank you for hosting this nice event.
Oh yeah, Kid was, I think, just had some voice activation fun. But yeah, thank you for participating, Dennis. What do you think of the racing today?
It was awesome. I mean, it's just like how I remember Live for Speed was. You have to be so on the limit everywhere, and you really have to put in your best effort. And especially in the second race, I found myself in a quite well-known position of where you really, really have to fight to come back. I think I was all the way back in 13th or 14th because I have a bit of a curb incident. So yeah, that was interesting and nice battles all the way through, and I think I got helped a little bit by the first top 5 or top 7, I think even was battling quite hard, so that helped me back.
What happened on that first lap in the end of the second sector when did you clip the sausage curb and go off into the wall, or did you get punted?
Actually, there was no Pontorino involved. It was just me trying to cut a little bit out of that corner because I've actually not driven this Blackwood version yet. And I completely forgot that there was a sausage curb on the inside because obviously it was the all race one. But it was just like muscle memory that you can sometimes take a bit of the first or the second curb out without too much punishment. But I tell you, there was a bit of punishment in this one.
Well, excellent. We'll come back to you in a second. Steve, how are things at the back of the field? We didn't get to look at the back of the field much in either race because of the great action up in the front.
It looked like good action on the map. I'll have to take a look back and see that. Yeah, I was quite a bit further back looking after my tyres in my RB4. Sometimes going well, and then towards the end, the left front sort of just gave up on me. But yeah, it was good fun, good race.
Did you have any interesting challenges throughout the day? What do you think of the day as a whole?
Well, I had an interesting trying to keep Donalik behind me on the second to last lap, but he just got me at the end. But yeah, driving the car is certainly a challenge. The RB4 is not as fast as the other two, but the starts were more fun in this car because I managed to gain about 6, 7, 8 spots in each start, but then get to turn 1 and suddenly I'm in the RB4.
That sounds good. We'll come back to you in a minute. Jared, wax poetic, please, about your race.
Oh, actually, in reality, as said in the break
User
between the
left
other
your
two
channel.
races, it's been a really long time since I've done any sim racing, and that race there in the last... I got caught up in a lap 2 incident. A guy got turned in front of me, and I zigged when I should have zagged and T-boned him. He got held up.
User joined your
And
channel.
then there were 2 cars in front of me. It was Kid and number 5. And I spent a good 15 laps just 1/10 at a time, ever so slowly, chipping. And then
User
got
joined
stuck in
your
a really
channel.
great battle. So it's been a
User
long
joined your
time since
channel.
I've done that in sim racing, and it was fun to just ever so slowly just chip away.
User was moved to your channel.
That's right. You and
User
Yarda
left your channel.
had some experiences down there in the back
User
of the field.
disconnected from your channel.
Yarda, what did you see?
Well, the race was pretty good, except for one moment in the second lap. Jared had the incident in turn 1, and I got those 4 guys, and at the end of the back straight I caused a bit of a moment for 2 guys in front of me. I was probably a bit late on the brakes, and I crashed into the back of one RB4. I'm not sure if it was Steve or not. And it caused a domino effect, and that RB4 took out also one FXO, so I waited for those guys. I take all the responsibility for that incident. But after that, I was trying to come down and pick up some pace. I was lapping pretty good lap times, around 24 dead. And I was waiting for some guys to catch up. I caught Dustin, who significantly lost some pace. He was lapping pretty fast, but then suddenly he was losing like 2 seconds per lap. And as Steve pointed out, I caught him in second to last lap and 20th. I'm happy. And it was pretty good fun, except for that moment that I caused, and I take all the responsibility for that.
All right, and Mr. Kagash, Zenek, you actually raced today. Did your computer hold
Well, as
up?
Jaga said, there was an incident on the first lap, so although I was pretty close to some people in front of me, I think I would be, I guess, in terms of pace. Sorry, I didn't understand you now.
Well, I was. Yeah. Did you end up having any performance issues with your computer? Because I know you said in your sign up that you were on an ancient PC.
Oh well, yeah, the FPS were pretty bad, but I could manage. The worst problem were the bumps, because I took some old set and I thought it would be okay, but it was not okay. And I overheated the tires, and that was it.
Alrighty, I believe we have Nicholas Steer in. Who was,
Oh, hi.
hello.
Yeah, sorry my voice sounds like pretty terrible, but like, yeah, I know I kind of like suck at it. Suck at racing.
Oh, no, you were still a clean. You were slow, but slow is fine. You were clean. I think. We were. You handled the blue flagging well. What was your experience of the event? I know you ran pretty much on your own the whole day.
Yeah, I think my favorite part was like during the second race, the 26th lap main event. Like during like I think it's like the fourth and third lap, maybe fifth lap of that, I was actually having like some pretty nice battles with like some of the other people. And, like they're barely back a bit, but I was actually up with them for a bit and having some nice battles. Of course, I kind of like fell behind after a bit, particularly like on the straightaways and during that first turn one hairpin, but that was actually like really fun. Like those like police battles I was having. So yeah.
All right, I think was that your first NDR event? I don't think you've done anything with us before.
Yeah, this is my first New Dimension racing event. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're glad to have you.
Thanks.
We'll go through everyone. Steve, we didn't get that. We asked. We talked to Jared and Yaroslav a bit about it earlier, but Owen Harmon, we got a good talk about it earlier. What's one of your favorite or best NDR memories from the 10 years so far?
But you mean apart from when I rolled in the first laps of both the 250 and 500 in the same year?
Other than that, yes.
Other than that, well, the podium at the Kyoto 500 was a pretty good one, especially considering I was 2 laps down at one point. I led 90 laps or something of the 250 a few years ago as well, which is kind of more frustrating than not, because I didn't win. But yeah, there's a lot of fond memories in there, particularly on that oval.
That's right. And I noticed you still have your Facebook profile picture, the one that I took of you at the pit lane terrace at Indianapolis Motor Speedway when you came for the 500.
Indeed, I've got some good mileage out of that picture.
Yeah. Jared, give us a favorite or best memory of NDR.
Oh, I was just thinking about that. I think one thing I really have enjoyed is, I mean, we talked earlier about all the friendship and the people you meet, but I think as far as a race, it's 24-hour, I'm trying to remember, it was GT2 or GT2 World Series, 24 hours at Kyoto Grand Prix with the Boothie chicane, and I somehow managed to field 2 cars. I had Jan Lappervaart running with the team. I had Kevin Loy running with the team. I had Lars running with the team, and we put the car on the podium. And that was something that I was really happy with, and I still have a lot of screenshots that I use, and I think that's my favorite. That's my favorite on track one. And then another one, actually, it's really weird. Your last Kyoto 250, when Marta Kapal won it without making a pit stop, I was calling his strategy for that race, and we had quite the argument about halfway through whether he should pit or not. And I was basically his spotter and crew chief, and I told him, do not pit. And so I was really, really happy when he made that last lap pass to win that race too.
Jared or Yaroslav?
Well, my best memories from NDR events are definitely Kyoto 500 and Kyoto 250s. I managed to finish Kyoto 500 3 times, and it was just amazing event, beautifully organized. And not the main race itself, also practice sessions were amazing, with all the people at TeamSpeak and in one channel discussing racing, enjoying. And me and Martin and Kit will also probably remember, we had always during the practice sessions a challenge who starts with the lowest amount of fuel in a tank and finish the race without pitting. We enjoyed a lot of fun, and it made amazing friendships that we bring into real lives, and as Jared said, making bridges over the Atlantic and visiting each other. It's just amazing, and everything started here in NDR, and it's just fun, and I'm happy that I could be part of it.
Alrighty. Zdenek, what you got?
Well, Yarda remembers these things much better than I do, but I agree on the oval races because these were just amazing. I mean, organization, the thrill, excitement, you know what, everything. And then also LFS card because I like F08, and it was always fun to race in these series. And also doing the admin work with you guys in this channel and this kind of stuff. That was fun. It was always fun.
Alrighty. Jonathan Provost was up in race control today. He's helped us a bit. What do you think of today's race in Provost?
It's a good return, I think. I'm glad to see the racing so well. I didn't expect it to be that close, to be honest. Well, most of them, we had like a group of 3 distinct groups of cars, and they all seem to be quite close and good racing. There's some good door-to-door action, a bit too much door-to-door in places, but not too much all within the spirit event. But yeah, very pleased to be back, and good to see some good racing again.
Hey, what's your favorite NDR memory or best memory?
I've been thinking quite a lot about this, and I can't put it down to one. The only one really that brings to mind is doing the admin, the 24-hour, or some of the 24-hour races that we did, staying up for hours and hours, watching cars go round and round, it was entertaining, and there was some good laughs in race control, definitely. I remember even the racing in some of those races after 22, 23 hours. I remember sitting in front and watching a battle for about an hour with both cars side by side the whole way. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one of the Kyoto 24-hour ones where they just didn't separate for about an hour, and it was brilliant racing. But yeah, some good lasting race control, I think, over the years, and hopefully we can start it back up again.
Yep. Thilo, what do you think of the racing today on the whole?
It was great. It really was great. Usually when you put up such an event, it can easily turn out to be that there is 2 laps of action, and then at least at the front it fizzles out, and you have to commentate on the back alone. This was definitely not the case today. We couldn't even mention everyone who was racing, and for example, my teammate, I think we didn't have him on stream once for the whole event. So yeah, it was a blast to do the commentary and to watch everything.
Yep. Well, Thilo, tell us what your best or favorite NDR memory of the last 10 years has been?
God, it's a potato.
Yeah, well, after all, the potato earned me
Angry
community.
Agnes.
Yes, it earned me a community award after all, so that was fun. I really have been thinking about this whole what's your most memorable thing. Maybe it's the 16-hour race where Timo Hünjen and me were fielding a team with, I think, one or two others from NDR, and
didn't you have Wilco and Atkinson?
I think so, yeah. And it was great. It was my first endurance race, and I was slow as hell. Timo was very angry with me a week prior to the race that I was still that slow, and suddenly it started to improve. And then I think my first night stint, I crashed twice, somehow without hurting our race result too much. But then the one who was going to take the car over from me did not show up. So I had to double stint in the middle of the night with not too much of preparation, and still it was fun from the driver perspective. Maybe the other thing that's in my mind is the 2008 Kyoto 500, simply because I drove in it, and it was so entertaining that my parents actually watched the stream.
I think we've had a great bit of racing day. It was great to see a good grid. We only had about 2/3 of what signed up show up, but still to have a 20 to 25, let's say 25 car grid for both races today in the current state of LFS. I think that was a good show. Some great clean racing on the whole. A few incidents that I don't know if anyone's going to worry about or not. Might be worth a look later, but I think it was a good way to celebrate the 10th year of New Dimension Racing. And it's a shame that Timo Hünjen isn't here to discuss the difference between whether this is our 10th year or we are already 10 years. Because I remember after, I think it was our second or third year, he did a whole confusing discussion with Jack Atkinson and I about no, it's not the third birthday. It's only been 2 years, so it's only 2 years. No, Timo, we're in the, anyway, enough about him. He was always the racer of us. He did very well in the inaugural ITCC season. He won a pole. He led for us. It was a great time. He was one of our technical minds too. I think my favorite memory of the 10 years. No, it's not going to be me shouting inside Ellis. Although I know you all wish it would be.
Everybody thought the same thing at the exact same moment.
No, I think every Kyoto 500 is one of my favorites because everyone always felt a huge energy with it. Everyone was always amazed at a 3-wide start in Live for Speed. It looked incredible always. I think too, our first 24-hour race, the GT1 World Series 24-hour race in 2014. That was a great race. I think that was the year that there was the photo finish for third after 24 hours between Genuine Racing and it was the N faculty team, Thilo? Do you remember?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Was it Team Evo?
Say, what was that?
I think it was Team Evo, was it?
Oh yeah, I think it was Evo. But yeah, that one was great. But staying up for all 24 hours of those races with everyone keeping a stream up all of that 24 hours. For our first 24-hour race, it went off pretty much so without a hitch. There were people worried about how safety cars would impact. I think we only had 3 in the whole race, and they were all in the first 8 hours. Yeah, it was a great race, and that was the year that no one wanted to win the race. If you were in the lead, you had problems. NX Racing came up with the win that day. So, any final thoughts from anyone before we close out the day?
It was really fun, to be honest. Yeah, like, I really kind of like to do something like this again, yeah.
Well, thank you for racing. Thilo, you got anything?
I think there's not much more to add. It was a great event today. We had some great memories shared the past 20 minutes, nearly.
Yeah, it's been great having you. So, congratulations to Yunus Frevio for winning both races today, and everyone else for participating and providing great racing, and all of you for watching. Stay tuned. Keep an eye on us on the Facebook at New Dimension Racing, Twitter at NDR_SimRacing. We might be doing an event in another sim sometime in the new year. So, we hope you all had a wonderful holiday season, and we hope you all have a safe evening tomorrow as you celebrate the New Year's arrival. Be safe. Remember, don't drink and drive. What do all the billboards that everyone say? If you drink, never drive. We want you all to be safe. We're glad that you've participated. For those of you that have over the last 20 years, I haven't got the official number yet, but I'm thinking we've had over 300 individual drivers compete in NDR races, either as their individual or with their teams. We've had almost 260, 270 events in our official history. So it's been a wonderful 10 years, and we hope we can keep going for many years to come, even as we all age. So, again, thank you all for joining us. We'll keep an eye out for the next event we run. But until then, for Thilo Falkenberg and everyone else who's joined us in the commentary booth today, Owen Harmon, along with the racers who have joined, thank you all for racing. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.
You were moved.